Hey, good morning. It's Ken Walls. Welcome to Breakthrough Walls. I am your host, and today I have an unbelievably special guest on. Her name is Krystan Bellows. She is an up and coming country music star. She has some I don't know what you call them, new releases out. I guess we'll call it that, and she can
Single.
clarify here in a minute. So I want to bring Krystan in, and she is on the stream. Welcome to the show, Krystan.
Hey Ken, thank you so much for having me.
I'm so happy to have you. I was hoping you'd have your guitar right there and be able to pick out a song or sing. I've got my guitar back here. So tell us. I think people are going to want to know. First off, you have you have an unbelievable, beautiful voice. It's you have a,
Oh,
you really do.
thank you so much. That's so
Oh,
sweet.
I love like you have the. What was your first single? Was it not that
Not,
single?
yeah, not that single.
Uh huh.
So my first single came out back in November,
Okay.
and I've just been writing a ton since then, and working on my EP. I'm working with a new producer down in Nashville. His name is Andy Sheridan, and we met actually just because I co-write with his wife a lot, and she thought we would be a perfect fit, and we met, and he did some demos for me, and just he really just understood me as an artist and kind of got my sound and what I was going for,
Yeah.
and yeah, we decided to work together, and we haven't started recording the EP yet. We're still kind of in the writing phases, but we're getting really close.
Yeah.
I'm going to be choosing from around 30 songs for a 6-song EP,
Wow.
with following this single. So the single will just kind of stand alone on its own. And
Okay.
I'm going to have like 6 brand new songs that I'm going to be releasing in the near future. No
And
date
these
to,
are
yeah.
and these are all originals, right?
Yes.
Awesome. And you're from Canada.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I already see we have I know at least one Canadian on here with us, Catherine Pon Ends. I don't know what part of Canada Catherine's in, but you're on the West Coast.
Yeah. So I'm, well, close to the West Coast. I'm in a province called Alberta,
Okay. Yeah.
and
I've
it's,
heard
yeah,
of
it's a
it.
prairie province. Yeah, some people don't, know where it is. But I'm in a small town just outside of Edmonton, which
Okay.
is Alberta. So
Yeah.
small town, 5,000 people. Kind of mainly grew up here, but we really did move a lot because my dad, he's retired now, but he was in the RCMP, so the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So it's kind of like a military style family. So
Wow.
we moved a lot. So I'm originally from just outside of Vancouver, actually.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and we lived in BC, Lower Mainland for a while in British Columbia.
So
And
let me ask you this.
yeah.
My wife just said somebody just said my volume's low. I was messing with my gain on this mic. I must have gone too far. So my wife just said that she loves Alberta, so pretty, love the High River area, whatever that
Okay.
means.
Yeah.
So let's back up. So you were born where now? What area?
So I was born, it's easier for me to say like closer to Vancouver,
Okay, okay.
but it really is a small town, and the town is called Hope, actually,
Hope.
which I think
Uh,
is really beautiful because I think, we all need like hope in our lives.
we
Anyway,
do.
I always try and look for those like subtle like universe signs.
I love that. I love that. So, as a matter of fact, I think I'm a recovered alcoholic, and when I first got sober 16 years ago, I remember, there was a sign that was always in the meetings. Catherine N says, "That's my hometown." That's her
What?
hometown.
No way.
Yeah, she's a friend
What
of
are the
mine.
chances?
Oh,
She's from Hope?
that's what she's saying. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, but I remember seeing the sign "Hope is found here," and I was single, so I was like, "There's some chick named Hope that I'm gonna meet."
That is so funny.
Never met her, thank God. Anyway, so I mean, so you grew up in Canada.
West, yeah.
Um, we'll just stay there. Oh no, she said High River. High River is her hometown.
Okay, so
High River.
High River isn't too far from where I am at right now.
Okay.
It's in Alberta.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she said you're not far away. So,
Yeah.
so one of the things that I like to kind of dig into on this show is I think that as children we there's always something or someone or some event, something that kind of influences who and what we become as adults. And I know
Mhm.
you've been, I mean, we know each other fairly well. We've had a lot of conversations, and you've had some ups and downs, and some struggles, and some wins and some losses, and all of that. But looking back on your childhood, is there anything that kind of stands out that made you who kind of affected who you became as an adult?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, there's so many events that I think shape us into who we are right now.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
uh, geez, yeah, I that's a really, really good question. It's hard to think of like one specific thing
Right,
because it's all these little events and ups and downs that really make us into who Kristen is right now.
right.
One in particular, I remember, in terms of like my music career anyway, I just always remember like singing at a very, very young age and just feeling, well, because we moved a lot, I often was like the new kid and didn't feel like I fit in.
Yeah,
Uh, but music kind of gave me this sense of belonging. And I would always just be up in my room singing and writing in a journal at just a very, very young age, just writing my feelings. And, eventually those started to turn into lyrics. But I remember specifically, I think I was around like 5 or 6, standing on my bed with a hairbrush, singing to Shania Twain. It was her second album that came out, The Woman in Me. And I'm just singing singing my heart out, and I could see like thousands of people, and it was almost like I had like a vision of what my future was going to be. And I knew like at that moment that I wanted to sing, and then I wanted to sing for the world, and then I wanted to do music. So, I mean, it took me a really long time to get there, and I'm still working on it. I think we're never not working on these things, but that's kind of one, I guess, moment that I just remember that really was special to me. And looking back, I'm like, okay, that was like the moment that I really knew like music chose me, and I was like, okay, this is what
wow,
I was put here to do.
wow.
But there's so many other moments too. And just kind of going through school, like honestly, school was really hard for me. I never felt like I really fit in. I had, friends in a bunch of different friend groups, but I was never really a part of any of the cliques or anything like that. I was, an athlete growing up. I played hockey with the guys, and, I was into sports and track, but then I was also in theater, in musical theater. So I was really just kind of everywhere. And I never really, found like, yeah, I never felt like I belonged. And see, as I grew older, I realized that that's actually a good thing because I don't want to be like anybody else. But when you're that age, you want to be like, the people around you, and your mentors, and, people you look up to, like, when you're younger, celebrities a lot of the times.
Yeah,
And you don't realize these things until you're older, and you kind of look back and you're like, wow, okay, like those hard times that I went through, taught me now, like, everything that, all those like times I felt lonely, like, or whatever, like that connected me more to like my soul to like look in and like really like figure out who I am and like what I want to say.
Right. I
So,
love that. I
I
love that.
don't know if I answered your question. I mean, I feel like
Yeah. Now, interesting side note. I used to work for one of the largest music venues in Columbus, Ohio, and I mean, you've performed on stage, so I'm sure you know what a runner is. And I worked for Shania Twain one time.
it's
Yeah, she's like 4'7" or 8" or something. She's a tiny little thing, but yeah, she was amazing. But so so you had these influences, and obviously, I mean, you could have been a punk rocker, right?
totally. And it's funny you say that because I did go through a punk phase, believe
Oh,
it or
did
not.
you?
Considering like, I mean, my hair is pink now, but it's like, it's in.
My wife
But
had pink hair in college, so I think that, but you chose country music,
it
and
chose me.
it chose you.
It took me a while to find my voice. Even when I moved to Los Angeles in 2014 to go to music school,
Yeah,
I I knew I was a contemporary artist, but I didn't know what kind of artist I was. And I was trying to find my voice, and that was really when I went all in with my music. And really it was during my time at Musicians Institute in Los Angeles that I really found my voice and like figured out who I was as an artist, because I had, a lot of mentors and a lot of teachers, and even through like songwriting, like figuring out what my voice was and what I wanted to say. And not only like my voice, but also my writing voice.
yeah,
And it just kind of fell in. I was like, I guess it's like pop country. So
that's
if
awesome.
can put it in a box. I try not to put it in a box because my producer, and I had a conversation a little while back, because I am actually going a little bit more on the pop side, but it's still country.
Yeah,
But we don't want to label it, because it's music that comes from my soul and from my experiences. And it's just like, okay, you don't think like, who's an artist? Okay, like Demi Lovato is clearly pop, but
right,
artists like Adele, for example, like she's just Adele, and
right,
and her music is just her music,
right,
right? And you don't think, oh yeah, like technically it's like kind of pop, kind of soul, like maybe there's some R&B influences in there.
right.
So that's kind of what we strive for. It's just this music is me, and it's
Yeah.
reflection and kind of like a timestamp of like what I'm going through at these like times in my life.
Yeah.
And
And I think though that with music today, back back when I was a kid, country music was Johnny Cash, which was clearly country music, right? Well, today you've got Florida Georgia Line, like they're they're including some R&B. I mean, and they're considered country. But it's a lot of Dan Kelleher. Thank you for sharing. Thank you to everybody who shared this out, by the way. This young lady is like, y'all are going to see her at the Country Music Awards receiving awards and go, oh my God, that was the chick on Ken Walls' show. I can't wait for that. And by the way, thank you for the invitation to your release party.
yes,
Sorry I didn't make it down there.
I mean, I sent them out to everyone,
Yeah.
like in my kind of close circle,
Yeah,
including like my family in Canada, even though I knew they weren't able to physically be there, but I still wanted y'all to feel like you were a part of something.
yeah.
And,
It made me feel unbelievably special. So thank you for that. But
course.
so let's back up a little bit, because you're still very, very youthful, and so you are you still got
Making this a beautiful thing.
yeah. But so like with the like so you went to school in Canada, eh? Sorry, I had to.
Yeah, no, you're good. But now
What's that?
I'm used to it now.
Right, right. So you went to school in Canada. Did you go to college up there anywhere?
I went to music school
Okay.
in Los Angeles.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was 2 years. So from 2014 to 2016, I was getting my degree and was awarded Vocal Performer of the Year when
Oh
I
my
graduated from the
gosh.
school, which was amazing.
Wow.
So I was very thankful for that because I worked so hard. You know, everyone works so hard, and it's so nice to be recognized for your hard work. And I was so humbled because it was chosen, you know, by my teachers and you know, the fact that they thought that I deserved that was just incredible. And my parents, my family came out. My brother was there, my mom, my dad, my sister, and also my best friend of like since I don't know, going on 18 years, I think now since yeah, I can't do math, but
That's all right. You can sing.
she
That's all that
surprised me
matters.
and showed up in Los Angeles for my graduation, and it was just like a beautiful moment. And I remember I was sitting in the auditorium, and I was sitting beside my brother, and they're like, Vocal Performer of the Year, Krystan Bellows. And I just kind of sat there, and Ryan looks at me, he's like, Christy, that's you. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's me.
I
You
love
know,
your brother. He's awesome. That's how
yeah,
you and I met. That's
yes.
how we met. Yeah, I remember that. And I don't know, I've never met either one of you personally, but I love both of you. You're amazing. So,
We love you too. You're so sweet. And
uh,
you've been, honestly, you know, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge you and say thank you because you have supported me from like day one before I even had, and when I was still in school
yeah,
and before I had any music out
yeah,
and, you know, was just kind of figuring things out. I mean, I'm still figuring things out, but, so I
yeah.
just want to say thank you because you've just been so supportive. So
It's my pleasure, my honor. I love to help other people and you know those that are worthy at least, and you're definitely worthy of it. So anything that I can do to help you, you know I would. So hey, Richard Trevino's on. He says, "Sing a song, sing a song." Maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll talk to you about doing a song for my show because this show really is about you know, look, Breakthrough Walls is about helping people have a breakthrough. And I
mhm.
think that we can have breakthroughs in our lives when we see that it's possible. And the only way that we see it's possible is A, to have it ourselves, or B, see somebody else that's been through all the struggles and made it, had that breakthrough. And you're really starting to make it. I know you haven't hit the super high charts yet or anything, but you're on your way, and I
Thank,
see that. So,
thank you so much.
yeah, I really would like to, you know, see, you know, you spread some encouragement, if you would. So
Yeah.
far in life for you, what do you feel is the greatest life lesson you've learned so far? And you're still young, so
Yes.
I'll give you that. But like, what's the greatest thing that you've learned as far as life lessons so far in your journey?
That's a really, really good question because I've learned a lot of lessons. I think one of the most important ones is patience, to be patient. And when you think you know the answers, you don't.
Yeah, that's true. I
Like
don't like patience though.
yeah,
Uh-uh. I
it's a,
hate patience.
it's a difficult one.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I was younger, you know, I went through a phase. It was you know, it was difficult. I will say I had a few awakenings in my life, and I'm very thankful to have, you know, had some great mentors and spiritual teachers in my life that have been there for me and guided me.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's so important to like be grateful for what we have right now, and just to recognize that like this moment is the only moment that matters. Because, especially lately, I've had, one of my best friends, her uncle suddenly passed away, and we had a family friend that recently passed away, and we actually wrote about it. We wrote a song called Tomorrow. And the whole idea is we wanted to really just kind of send a message that, we think we have tomorrow, but we might not have tomorrow.
Right.
So to really just cherish like all these moments that we have right now, especially with our friends and our family, because you don't know if, someone walks out the door and that's going to be the last time that you see them. So I think another lesson that I've learned too is just to cherish like those moments, and that it's okay to like slow down sometimes and just kind of take a breath and just be present.
I freaking love that. Holy crap.
But so many other lessons too, though.
Amber Felt just said yes with a bunch of exclamation points. She's amazing. See, we're getting you some new fans already, Krystan.
Thank you.
And I knew we would. You're freaking amazing. So
I can't stop. Look at this smile. You're so sweet. Anytime I'm having a bad day, I'm just going to call you up.
Hey, that's the thing is we all have bad days. We have bad moments, but we don't have to let them ruin our week, our month, our life. Like,
Exactly.
And I know there's Brad French. He's up in Canada too. So if I guess because you've been through it, and I know, because like even moving to Nashville, like if I remember, it was some sort of a tennis match. Like you weren't sure if you were going or how you were getting there, or.
Well, let me tell you the story about that.
Yes, tell.
I know I tend to like when I start on one story, I kind of just keep going. And
I love that. Just go. Just let it flow.
Back to like, let's rewind a little bit. So I just kind of graduated music school.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually working with one of my songwriting mentors, Brett McLaughlin. He goes as Leland now. He's written for like Kelsey Ballerini, Maren Morris, Troye Sivan, Dea, all those kind of guys. So I was fortunate enough to have him as my mentor for 2 years. And we wrote Not That Single together, actually. And we were just kind of starting my EP. We literally just wrote Not That Single, and I was feeling very lost in LA. I just come out of music school, the safety of the bubble of school, and didn't really know where to start. The music industry is very scary and it's very unpredictable, and I was so lost. I was overwhelmed. I kind of went through a little bit of a depression, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go home for a few weeks, retouch, like see my parents, kind of grab my roots and kind of reevaluate, and then head back and come up with a game plan.
Yeah.
So during this 2 weeks of me being home, this was in June of 2016, like late June, early July, I decided on Canada Day to go dirt biking with my best friend, Jessie, and crashed the dirt bike, actually.
I remember.
Yeah, it was very, very difficult for me. Probably the 4 hardest months of my life. The hardest thing I've ever gone through, for sure.
Yeah.
And I was very lucky, actually, because the dirt bike was going towards a barbed wire fence, and I thought the better option would be to go the other way. I put myself off the dirt bike, and the force of that caused my right knee to hyperextend out and tore my ACL, fractured my leg in 2 places. So this happened on July 1st. And I believe, like, the universe and signs and stuff, and this was like a hard, like, kind of no. Like, I was supposed to fly back to Los Angeles on July 5th.
Yeah.
And the accident happened on July 1st. So it was kind of like, at the time, I didn't understand why it happened, because, like, I just started working on my EP with Brett and thought I was going in this direction and was planning on living in Los Angeles for another year or so and then making my way slowly to Nashville.
Right.
During that time, obviously, I couldn't go back to Los Angeles. I couldn't even walk. I had to get surgery. So I spent 4 months, after surgery, rehabilitating my knee to the point where I could, like, somewhat walk again. And it was during that time, like, my lease was up in LA, and I I was having a hard time finding a place and finding a new roommate. And I just kind of like had this feeling. I was like, you know what? Like, why wait to go to Nashville? Like, I need to be there right now because all the people that I need to connect with and write with are in Nashville. So I looked at my mom and we had a conversation, and she's like, yeah, well, you need to go to Nashville. So I let my lease go. I started looking for places in Nashville, found a place on Craigslist, had all my stuff shipped from LA to Nashville, got on a plane, and the rest is history. So I've been in Nashville for almost 2 years now. So
Wow.
got there was like just interesting and not the way I thought.
Well, Nashville is, well, it's one of my favorite cities. I love Nashville. And if, I had the honor of, I used to be the largest DirecTV dealer in the United States. And so, they had a private concert for the top 50 dealers with Vince Gill at the Grand Ole Opry. So it was literally, 50 of the top dealers and Vince Gill at the Grand Ole Opry, and that's it. Like, it was insane. So I have some great memories there. The Opryland Hotel is unreal.
Oh,
It's unbelievable. But so, okay, so you got to Nashville, and I know how that goes. So when you got there, like Shania Twain and Alan Jackson, all of them were waiting for you, right? They rolled out the red carpet.
Yeah, they actually picked me up from the airport. I wish. No.
I know, right? So it doesn't. It's never that easy, right? But so tell me though, what when you got to Nashville, what are some of the wins that you experienced? Thank you for sharing, Susan Day. What are some of the wins? Some of the great things that occurred?
Well, I think one of the most important things is I've got to kind of build a little family there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of other artists that are kind of in the same, not kind of, they are in the same boat as me.
Yeah.
And most of them are from Canada in my friend circle anyway. I mean, I have a lot of American friends, but in my tight circle, I have Mallory and Tennille and Callie and Twin Kennedy girls, and it's just so great to be surrounded by like-minded people where you can share music, share what you love together,
Yeah.
and also just like be there for each other on just like a soul level.
Yeah.
And they're just such beautiful people, and we're all away from our families. So it's nice that we have each other to support in Nashville. So that's like super important to me,
Yeah.
is friends and family. And the fact that I've been able to find that in Nashville and feel like it's my home,
Yeah.
it just make being away from home so much easier. Right. So that's kind of like a personal win. I think on a professional level, just being able to work with the amazing musicians in Nashville and perform. I had my release in November, and it's now just over 30,000 streams on Spotify, which, I'm an independent artist, and I released that myself and did like promo myself. So I'm really proud of that. I know, like, in the grand scheme of things, like, it's not millions or anything, but for me, like, I take that as a win. And, because I did that all myself.
That's
so,
incredible.
Yes, of course, I had help. I had, supportive parents and supportive brother and sister and friends and family that all helped shared it and everything. But, I'm not with a record label right now or anything. So when I say by myself, I mean independently as an artist. So that's kind of one, just, accomplishing, releasing music out there, and the fact that people want to listen to it and they care about it, and they take time out of their day to listen to it and send me a message and say, thank you for sharing this. And
wow.
And I've actually gotten some messages too of people that have told me that I'm inspiring them, and inspiring them to like go for their dreams because they're seeing me go for mine. And that's such a beautiful thing, you
Right.
know, to just all like lift each other up more and support each other. And, you know, I take those as wins too, because that really makes my day, you know, and especially like if I'm having like a really hard day where I'm like maybe in crippling self-doubt, I'm like, what am I doing?
Right.
It happens. We all go through, you know, the roller coaster of
They sure do.
emotions. And, you know, when we're going for our dreams, you know, we are met with a lot of roadblocks.
Yep.
And, you know, one in particular I remember I received about a month ago, and I just was going through some stuff and having a really hard day. And she just kind of reached out and said, you know, I really love your music, and I just want to say thank you because you inspired me to go for my dream of figure skating.
Wow.
And it was amazing. And the fact that I inspired her to, you know, go for her dream. And yeah, like that was so amazing. So, you know, and that's all I want to as an artist is just to be able to connect with people and share my stories with people.
That's why you're doing it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's to make that because I'm a musician, not on your level, but I'm a musician as well. And like of course I've never done music to inspire others in any way. Like I just do I do it because it relaxes me, to play guitar and all that. But I think that where you are and where you're heading, it's amazing. And for anybody watching this, I have friends who are in the biz, so to speak. Hopefully they'll see this stream and maybe you'll catch a break. But I think you're amazing, and I've heard your music, and you sing with such passion. Like it really, you can tell it comes from your heart. You're not being mechanical about it as much as you are just singing from your heart, and it's amazing to watch you perform. So let me ask you this. Again, I know that you're youthful. However, you've not allowed your age to stop you from pursuing what you want in life. And I truly believe that people do get stuck. I believe that they want to they want to pursue their singing career or their figure skating career or their whatever career. They get stuck and they don't know how to get unstuck, or they live in so much paralyzing fear that they don't know what to do. What would be a piece of advice you would give to a friend that is stuck? They want to pursue their dream, but they're terrified to leave that 9 to 5 job or that whatever to go for it. What would you say to that person?
That's a really good question. So, and geez, I even have to reevaluate this myself too,
Yeah.
because it's hard to not get caught up in the big dream. But I think sometimes we need to just kind of take a step back and look at, okay, so where am I right now? And what do I need to do to maybe get, like where do I want to be next week? Like what goals do I want to accomplish next week? And just kind of making the steps to reach that goal, and just kind of taking it really sometimes day by day if you have to.
Right.
But we tend to get overwhelmed and have anxiety and fear when we're not present also, but when we're looking like super far ahead, like, obviously my dream is I want to go on world tour, and I want to sing for, stadiums amounts of people, and I want to win Grammys and all of those things. But, that's in my far future. Hopefully not too far, but,
Right.
But if I just kind of focused on that all the time, then yes, I'm going to have lots of anxiety and fear. And so sometimes you have to just kind of reverse engineer,
Yeah.
and be like, okay, how am I going to get there? Okay, so right now I just need to keep working at it every day, like writing songs, working on myself, whatever that is for you, meditating, working out, doing things that are going to make you better. And, consistency over time equals success, right? So it's really your habits, daily are what is going to determine that. So, and, of course you want to make sure that you're growing. But, just really kind of making even just a plan of like, steps and if you have to break it down day by day or, week by week or, okay, by next year, I want to have accomplished these things. And I think also sometimes we can underestimate what we can do in a year, but we underestimate what we can do in 3 years, but we overestimate sometimes what we can do in a year.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yep, sure does.
So I think just, like, let's use some Grant Cardone, like 10x that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like what your goals are right now, like 10x that and reach for it because, you may not like maybe reach, like, maybe you're not going to fly to the moon, right? But you might like hit the stars.
Right.
So you never, you got to just keep reaching and keep reaching. And also I think to not limit yourself. And that's the important thing because we so often can get stuck in our own minds and start to doubt ourselves. And I do this too. Like I'm guilty of this too. Just going to be completely vulnerable here. Like most days I'm like, oh, what the heck? Am I good enough? You know what I mean? We have to push past those things. Yeah. And that's what creates results and that's what creates strength.
Yeah.
Just pushing past those like insecurities or doubts and just keep doing the work every single day. Yeah. And never give up and keep believing and having a support system, and you'll get there. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands.
Amen to that.
I kind of went like, woo, all over, but
no, that was beautiful. So did you see my interview the other day with Sharon Lecter?
No, I didn't.
You got to go watch that. And then, she, if you don't know who she is, she was, she was on the Presidential Advisory Committee for financial literacy for President Bush and Obama. She's been responsible for the sale of about 30 million books.
Wow.
She's the co-author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad with Robert Kiyosaki. She wrote.
I love the book.
Yeah, she co-authored that. She also co-authored Outwitting the Devil. And if you haven't listened to Outwitting the Devil on Audible, you need to start today because it's mind blowing. I'd never listened to it, and I just got it over the weekend. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. So, but it's right in line with everything that you're talking about. I think you'll find it life changing. Seriously. So
I will definitely check it out.
Yeah, because look, I do. Again, I think that everybody is an artist in one way or another. Most people never really pursue anything with what they're passionate about with creative, when it comes to the creative nature. Most people go to their graves with their songs still in them. And,
yes.
And you, my friend, are not going to be one of those people. And I love that. Like you freaking have songs out, like, like real songs. You wrote them. You recorded them. It's freaking amazing. And so, and you even have music video, right? Like on,
yeah, there's a little music video out.
Yeah. So, but you've done some amazing things already. And, you're, again, sorry to keep bringing up your age, but I'm like 50. So like, you're a lot younger than me. And I think that that's amazing that you just said, the hell with it. I'm going to Nashville and I'm freaking going to pursue my dreams. And adversity is always going to hit us. And it's certainly hit you with the pursuit of your dreams. But you've not let it stop you. You've not let it stop you. And I love that. Everybody loves that. I guarantee you everybody loves that. Loves it.
Thank
you. So you're being a shining star for the rest of us. Even if you haven't made it as high as you want to make it yet, you will. I just feel it. I know it. I know it about you. So let me ask you this: what's next for you? I'm looking at my notes over here, by the way.
Yes.
What's next?
What is next? Well, for when I get back to Nashville, just jumping right back in with sessions. I got some shows lined up, and really the next big thing, is just I've been working on this project. Probably, I mean, it's really just been my entire life that I've been kind of working up to this. So it'll be my first EP that's going to be coming out, and that's really kind of the next big thing on the list. And excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold here.
Yeah.
What I've been really working on, and I've been working on this with Ryan as well, because my brother, for those of you who don't know Ryan Bellows,
Ryan's awesome.
Super business savvy. I'm not so much on the business side, so I go to him a lot for advice. But he's really great at branding too. So we'll often, throw ideas back and forth with my brand, and that's really what I've been focusing on as well in the running process, and figuring out, what my voice is as an artist, and what my brand is, and what I want to show to the world, and what kind of artist I want to be, and what kind of impact I want to make to people. And I think that's super important too, because it's, as an artist, it's our responsibility.
Yeah.
To be like a role model. If I can be a role model to, somebody, I mean, that's just amazing.
Well, you are.
Oh,
You already are. Like, you don't, like, my wife just said she is wise. So, like, you are a role model. You literally are. And I freaking love that. I do have a question about your brother, Ryan, who's also a friend of mine. Why is he not on this stream?
He told me he's not answering any questions right now. No, I'm kidding.
Is he even on here?
So Ryan is, I believe he's in Calgary now.
Okay.
But he's just been on the road a lot for work lately. So he's just been super, super busy.
Yeah.
But I wonder if next time we can arrange, I don't know if this works 3 ways, but that would be cool. 'Cause he's about 4 hours from me right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did get to see him last weekend, though. He came up for Mother's Day. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. He's amazing. And so are you. So you're going back to Nashville. You're going to work on this EP. I want to know that, I want your promise, a pinky promise, that when you have a big show coming up, you're going to get me backstage passes for me and my wife.
Well, and your kids too.
And my kids. Awesome.
Yeah, I have not forgotten about that.
I know. You're awesome. They would love that. Yeah. They would have my oldest daughter she's literally, like, she's obsessed with who's that one chick? Ariana Grande. Grande. I mean, she's obsessed with her. I'm like, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, she can sing. She's
yeah.
She's good. She's not as good as my friend Krystan, but whatever. I'm just kidding. So, how can people find you and follow you? I know I love watching your stories on Instagram.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I spend more time on Instagram than probably any other social media platform. Yeah. I don't really spend a lot of time on Facebook. I will share things on my artist page, but that's kind of it. I've tried to, get out of Facebook a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I just, I would rather be writing songs and stuff.
I understand. But yes. Instagram's where people can follow you?
Yes, and Facebook as well, and I got a YouTube channel and all that as well. So it's just everything's just under my name, which is Krystan Bellows. So Krystan Bellows.
I'm typing that in. I'm going to put it up on the screen screen here. So at Krystan Bellows.
You got it.
Okay, and that's on Instagram, and you don't really use Facebook that much. But you have a fan page.
Yeah, I use my artist page kind of more than anything, and I'll share like when I have shows and things like that. Okay. Excuse me. But I mostly am on Instagram.
Okay.
The most.
Okay. Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Kristen, is there anything else you would like to say to my audience prior to ending this?
Well, I wish I could see everyone or see the comments. But thank you to everyone who tuned in, and feel free to reach out. I would love to connect with you. And I just want to say thank you again, Ken, for having me on your show. And it's been so amazing. And I hope that we can do it again. And
Yes,
so nice
absolutely.
to meet you face to face.
I
So,
know.
we've known each other for a few years, but, we connected on social media.
Yeah,
And yeah, I think
amazing.
it's just incredible, and your support has just been just so amazing. So I want to say thank you.
You're more than welcome, and you'll continue having my support as well as the support of a lot of other people. I see another artist friend of mine just joined. He's a musician. His name's Eric Cornelius.
Hey,
He lives in California. That guy
oh,
can sing like he is so good. Plays the ukulele.
oh yes,
Yeah, he's pretty cool. But my wife just said, "Best of luck to you, Kristen," and Eric said, "I missed it." So anyway, I thank you, and I'm telling you, we're gonna get you a lot of supporters. We're gonna get you millions of downloads. My wife just said great things are ahead for you, and I agree with her. So
thank
let's continue to support Kristen. Thank you guys. Thank you to everybody who has been on here. Thank you to everybody who shared this out. Really, really grateful. Appreciate it. Y'all have a blessed day, and thank you from myself and from Kristen. Thank you.
you, guys.
Thanks for
Have a
being
wonderful
on,
day.
Kristen. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys later.